What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone? I'll go first. One time.
The craziest thing that I've done when I had a crush on someone was plan a cross-country trip flight to California and rent an Airbnb and redo my hair and get my nails done and do my lips and buy a whole new wardrobe to go on this trip. Um, and when I got there, we went on a lunch date, and when we came back, he said, "Do you want to get married?" And I said, "Yeah." And he told me he loved me, and I loved him too. And um, we drove to Las Vegas 3 days later, and we got married, and we are actually still married. So that psychotic behavior really seemed to work out. So I say, go for it. Be crazy. Do what you got to do, you know?
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
One time I worked with this guy and he was the cook and I was the food runner, and I would get off, go to Royal Farms, and he would stay and clean for like an hour and a half. But one day he just happened to get off early. Someone let him get off early, and we both went to Royal Farms at the same time. So I got in my head, oh my gosh, he goes to Royal Farms. And he also flirted with me that day. So I was like, okay, I have to be at Royal Farms anytime he's at Royal Farms, obviously. So I would get off work and sit in the parking lot every day that we worked together, waiting for him to pull up to Royal Farms. And then I would casually get out and be like, oh my god, I'm gonna go get some chicken or some ice cream. And we would just like, look at each other, exchange looks. And yeah, I stalked him for a little bit, and now our 6 years is on Wednesday. Love you, bae.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
Okay, I almost don't even want to tell the story because it's just so embarrassing. Like, to the public eye, it's probably not that bad, but as 23, almost 24-year-old me looking back at 16, 17-year-old me, it's terrible. So when I was in high school, I had a crush on this guy. We were in the same class. We were both in theater together. And for our class, sometimes we'd be paired off in groups or whatever. And sometimes our teacher would be like, like group A, go in the hallway. Group B, go in the courtyard. Group C, go wherever. So this day, him and I were in different groups, but we both wound up in the courtyard, just different sides of the courtyard. And when we were finished with our assignments, our groups kind of merged together and we just started hanging out or whatever. And I vaguely remember talking about like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or like what our favorite drink was from a place like a fast food coffee place. And I saw this as the perfect opportunity to initiate a conversation with him. So I turned to him and said, blank, what's your favorite drink to get from Dunkin' Donuts? And he turns around and says, I actually don't really like coffee. I prefer sweet tea. I started cackling in his face. And I didn't mean it disrespectfully either. But like, you don't like coffee? Because I didn't like coffee back then either. I was just like, hee hee, that's so fun and quirky. But it came out like me like laughing at him and making fun of him. I kid you not, everyone around us looked at me including him. He looked at me like that too. And it really sucks too, because in the moment I realized how bad it was, what just happened, and there was nothing I could do to fix it. It happened. But yeah, and then I just went on with my day. I didn't avoid him from then on out or anything. I still continued with my crush and everything. But yeah, that comes to my memory from time to time, and I don't enjoy it when it does.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
We had known each other for years, but we had exclusively only hung out with my sister and brother-in-law since that's how we met. And then my sister and brother-in-law decided they wanted to move 9.5 hours away. So what I did, very subtly, because I was looking for any opportunity to hang out with him now that they were gone, without being totally obvious that I had a crush on him, I said, hey, do you want to go on a 9-hour road trip with me and my 2-year-old son? I don't know how that was subtle whatsoever, but now we're in love, so.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
In college, the guy that I liked would come and visit me on Wednesday. On Thursday, he would go out with another girl. They would go to this bar, and none of them were 21. And me and him were also in a friend group, and he would go with our friend group. And I was sick of everyone playing in my face like I was stupid. So I called the police department, impersonating a suburban white woman who went to the bar and saw that all these underage kids were getting served alcohol. I honestly told the police department that me and my husband were besides ourselves. We couldn't believe that we were witnessing this atrocity. I went full-blown Karen. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this is happening in our backyard. I ended up telling some friends, like, don't go on Thursday. So the next Wednesday, he came over. I saw him. The next day, he went to the bar with her. And there were undercover cops there waiting for them at the door. And that was my little secret until now.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
When I was 18, I went on Grateful Dead tour. The first show of that tour, I met a guy who I thought was so cute. He came up to me at the show and asked me if I wanted to go down on the floor because he had a ticket to go there. And I was like, no, I stay in the hallway. And he was like, I stay in the hallway too. So we dance around together all evening. But then he goes in his van to the next show, and I go in my friend's Honda to the next show. Okay, all I want to do is see him again. And I know that he doesn't have a ticket for this next show, but I do. So I go out to the parking lot trying to find him, and I start looking for a miracle. If you don't know what this is a free ticket. So I stand there with my finger in the air. I have a water bottle on my head, wearing a dress that I made. I received 7 miracles. As I gave them away. Okay. I gave all of them away except one. Everyone's going into the show. I do not know where this cute boy is, but I just know, I feel it. Like I'm supposed to see him again. So I have this one extra ticket and I'm walking through a field ready to go into the show. And who walks across the field towards me? Yep, it was him. So I give him his ticket. We decide at this show that we are going to travel together after Grateful Dead tour. We literally got a map out. We went like this and it landed on Northern California, Southern Oregon. And we were like, okay, we're going to go there after the show. I kid you not. We end up being together all of tour. We go back to Wisconsin to get my Honda. Then we go out to California to where his friend lives. We go to a rainbow gathering and we find a hippie commune. These people live on a hippie commune who are camped next to us, and they're looking for people. They're basically recruiting people. So we move to the hippie commune, get married and pregnant, and that is the love story of my first failed marriage.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
I bought a shirt on Depop for like $100, but I pretended like I thrifted it from Goodwill. Like I took a picture outside of the Goodwill and everything, and I sent it to him. And I was like, "Oh my God, I just thrifted this at Goodwill. Isn't that so crazy? Do you want it?" He was like, "Wow, of course I want it. Like that's so rare. I can't believe you found it at Goodwill." So I paid like $100 to pretend like I thrifted a shirt at Goodwill, just so I could meet up with him and hang out with him for like an hour.
What's the craziest thing you ever did for love?
I remember there was this man. I could honestly say this is my first love. I poured everything into this man. Now, he had told me for his birthday, nobody ever cared about his birthday. Nobody ever did anything for his birthday,
Okay.
right? So I was like, oh, well, I got to make sure that he knows that I care. And I went all out.
Oh,
I
God.
mean, I got this man everything he could have wanted. It was a big old gift bag. Like, I was like, I want him to feel appreciated because I hate that he felt that way on his birthday. My birthday came around. Honey, this man was in Jamaica, and guess what he gave me for my birthday, honey?
What?
Lotion.
What kind of lotion?
I don't give a damn.
What did you
It
get
was
him?
a hand-painted portrait.
Oh no.
I got him gift cards to all his favorite places, and he gave me lotion.
Where is he today?
I don't know. In Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh God.
But I'm fine.
The Hopeless Romantic Society.
What's the craziest thing you ever did for love?
I have paid for a man's work shoes.
Wait, where do you work at?
He didn't even have a job. It was to get him a job, but he was a bum, so.
Oh, you like broke men?
No, I'm actually quite allergic. It really doesn't sit well with my system because I've had the experience before.
But they are a little fun.
Fun, or are they interesting? Because when men are broke, they're mean.
Why do you think they mean?
Because you don't have no money in your pocket. Your pockets is itching and burning. So now you're trying to take it out on me. Every broke man you know is angry. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
That sounds about right.
The Hopeless Romantic Society.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done for love?
The craziest thing I've ever done was bring a man from a Caribbean island to New York after a month of meeting him. And he was also 9 years older than me.
So where was he staying?
In my house, my parents and my brother.
How was y'all like getting it in with your mama like downstairs watching a movie with popcorn?
So we had a special spot on the couch that didn't make
Your mama good couch.